Yo, 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 it's Hublo back with another video. So, we're going to be going over the weekly recap for the week and the trades that we ended up taking. So, we'll start off with Euro USD. We did have a great move on Euro USD for the week. We did miss it, but it was totally fine. We were waiting for our ideal setup when it came to uh, Euro USD. So, we didn't get that, so we didn't end up taking it. But here, as you can see, price just ended up after CPI news just taking off from here. We just kind of watched this whole move come up. Ideally, what I would have liked to see was it to come back in this point of interest area here and then take off, which it looks like it may be doing this up and coming week. As you can see, it has collected inner liquidity here, and the liquidity was collected here and it created more liquidity on the outside here. So if we can get something along the lines of this, we can get something like this, boom, then that's when I'll take that position, because once we get a break of structure here, or on a lower time frame coming back up into this area, then I'll definitely take it down here to ride it up here. So if we see that, then I'll definitely, take that as an entry as we bounced off of support. And if we respect support once again, I definitely see it going up to the resistance area, which matches up with the liquidity here and also the POI all the way up here, the point of interest all the way up there. So yeah, that's what I would definitely see for EU for the up and coming week. We did miss this move, but it was totally fine. This move went for at least, let's see, 140 pips almost. So that was definitely one move that we were looking to possibly get into. GU, the same thing. News kind of kicked in, and we kind of see, we didn't place a buy stop or anything, but soon as it blasted up, after news, we were looking for it to kind of retrace back into this area for us to buy, but we didn't get that. Just like EU collected inner liquidity here, and then also we made liquidity at the top. So if we do get once again, so we collected the liquidity here last week with that push up with news. So collected inner liquidity, created liquidity at the top. If we can get that push down from this point of interest area here, coming down in onto these levels of the POI, then I'll definitely feel comfortable if I see on the lower time frame or a time frame that I'm comfortable with executing. If I see higher highs be created, then I'll definitely, take that. So from here, I would like to see something like this dip, kind of price respect. And then once I see this breaker structure here, then I'll be looking for a price to do this so we can take off again. So definitely something that I'll be looking for. And then from here, execute and then price to then take off like that. So that's definitely something I would look for on GU when it comes to just waiting for price and understanding where the market is right now. I don't think I have any support and resistance set on this. Yeah. So we do have a resistance up here, and I think support is way lower, if I'm not mistaken, or down in these areas. I don't think I marked it though. But yeah, that's totally fine. I definitely see price definitely, shifting up to that area if we do get the respective structure down here. So that's definitely what I could see for that. And then NZD USD. So we did have a point of interest here. Once it blasted through this point of interest, I was like, okay, like we might definitely see, higher prices here. So we did attempt to execute a position, which was definitely a pretty decent, execution. We got a bit of a push up, and then we ended up closing a bit of position like in partials, and then we left the rest of the position running because I kind of knew that we had just that big gap of, once we broke structure on a higher time frame like that, we have a big gap in where price can kind of like play, into. And that's why I had I had my line here for an alert if price did come back down to this area. But we did end up getting stopped out for this position. It wasn't our ideal risk to ratio anyway, just from where like we were executing. It was a 1-to-1, so definitely is just not our perfect execution, but it did leave liquidity up here. So I am looking for it to possibly come down to those areas where we originally had marked up for the week for it to come down to, which was this area, and then kind of see, what we can get from there. It did kind of bounce, create a higher high rate. So let's see. This is what I would like to see on it. So we did bounce in this area, so it could already be, gearing up to create that new structure. And it respected the structure here. So what I could definitely see for this is just, continuing higher highs. So on the lower time frame here, probably the 5 or the 15, if you continue to see market make those moves, I would definitely take it in on a small position, like take a micro lot. And then once it, retraces and, give you that satisfaction that it's going to respect this structure, it's not going to break this structure, possibly coming down or lower, then I would take the position higher to go, higher. And then also obviously we'll see, higher highs from there, possibly, touching, collecting that liquidity we got to the left there. So that's probably what I would like to see on NZD USD. Like I said previously, just watching for that pocket of liquidity that's currently creating right now, because it didn't fully come into the POI, so it could definitely come into the 50% of this area still, even though it kind of bounced off structure, created a new high and everything. This could be, a pump fake to take out everybody that's attempting to buy early and then actually start to buy for real. So just be aware of that going forward. Euro AUD was definitely a great trade we were in this week. We did have a gap in this area here. So I did let my chat know that we were going to possibly be filling that gap as price always does. And we were definitely able to capitalize off this position. Um, it was definitely a great position to be in. We ended up collecting 144 pips off this one move and stacking positions as well. So I originally saw in the 30-minute we were definitely trending upward, respecting structure. So I executed this position here. Boom, we got it. We were in. Got a little bit of a pullback during a session break here. And then I had another buy stop here, which got activated. And we were able to hold that trade and cut it up here. And then you can see market started to trend down. So we did end up, holding, cutting a position here in partials and then letting the rest of our position hit TP, in which we were able to take the rest off the table. So definitely, just a great way to capitalize off the markets and analyzing. We did have a point of interest here, but once I saw it kind of show characteristics that it wasn't breaking below any structures or making any like lower highs, I was definitely confident that it wasn't going to be selling. So I was definitely cool with just holding that trade and making sure that we continued to go in the direction that we were intending to go originally. So, and these were just two L's that we took attempting to catch this buy up. So price originally, we came here, we had this break up. After it came down, kind of collected this inner liquidity here. I had a feeling that we could possibly, take off from this area, but I was definitely wrong. It still had just a little bit more price to come down to, but we did have this higher time frame, 50% here, which price can always come to or cannot come to. So you definitely got to just be careful for that. So we were definitely attempting to be, patient once we came the second time around. We still ended up taking another L here due to that, but it was totally fine. We still it was just very small. Like I said, when I first execute my first positions is always a micro lot, so it's nothing big. We don't take like huge L's off these, little moves, and my stop losses are always tight. So for the most part. We took that L here once price came down here. I saw a break of structure again on the time frame, and we hit the 50%. So I ended up seeing we had another 50% that was created based off structure. Price ended up taking me there out there too, which we had a tight stop loss on that one. But if we would widen the stop loss just a bit, would have been able to sustain this market movement up, and we would have been in for a lower position. As this continued to break structure, I saw that we definitely had an opportunity to get in here. This was definitely risky because we were hitting that balance scale, but like I said, on a 30-minute, I ended up seeing that we um, got that break. We were about to get that break, and I saw on a lower time frame how it was forming, and I ended up just executing this position here, and we were able to, uh, catch the 144 pips, making up for all the initial L's that we took attempting to catch the buy. So also we collected that gap as well, so that was great. Euro JPY was another great one for the week. We did anticipate it possibly coming up into the POI area in order to sell. I was going to originally catch it up here, but I missed it. So once I missed that move, it happened around 4 a.m. or so. Once I missed that move, we had a POI here for it to possibly create structure to launch back up into this area so we can continue to sell down. So, definitely like we showed you on GU last week, just kind of playing ping pong with the market and knowing how and where to put your point of interest areas and where are the key levels in the market where market is going to bounce off of and you could capitalize pretty easily. So, we did see that price hit the balance scale here. And once it hit that balance scale there, I already had a sell stop here for it to activate me once it got in, and I was already somewhat in a small micro lot position somewhere right here. So I did the wick, and then I ended up holding it, putting my stop loss up here originally. And then once I saw that it hit the balance scale, kind of weakened, activated this position, then I put my stop loss up here, which gave us a 1 to 2 ratio on this trade, which was definitely a really good ratio. Still, even though I'm not really, used to risking 50 pips, but I knew for this position it would have been worth it. Just because, the way we hit the balance scale and how we continue to make lower lows and just, beautiful price action on a lower time frame in between the 5, 15, and the 30. So I was definitely, anticipating that to continue to hold, which we did, and we were able to hit TP for another 144 pip move. Also making up for any of the losses we took on EA, which we only took 2 losses, 2 wins for the week. And sorry, 3 losses and 2 wins for the week. But all of our wins made up for the losses, and we had 2 missed moves. So if we were either able to catch GU or EU, we would have definitely been in the clear. When it comes to just our ratio or win number count. But that's not really too much, what I focus on these days. I mostly just focus on making sure I'm having the right risk to ratio and making sure I'm risking what I'm okay with risking. And then 3, seeing exactly where to get out, when to get out, and where is the best, place for us to get out. Originally, had my TP down here to collect liquidity. As you can see, price is still going to continue down, possibly for the next week or so. But I definitely saw that market. We were gonna close in market soon, and we're gonna get that uh, closed for Friday. So ended up getting out here, which is totally fine. 144 pips, almost 300 pips throughout the whole week, and that's enough. That's enough for you to live life, spend money, withdraw, do whatever you need to do. And if you guys want to join a community that's consistently, guys can go back in the old videos. And again, for the people that continuously watch my videos and you guys are not liking and commenting, please do that for me. That's the only way I'm going to be able to continue to make this content because at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing and I want to help people out there that don't know exactly what they're doing, but help me help you by supporting me. So definitely like, subscribe, comment, join our Discord if you guys want to interact with some of these trades. I at least post at least 1 to 2 free trades in the free part of our Discord every week for individuals to capitalize on. And you guys definitely can ask me any questions you guys want in the discussion area. Again, my name is Hublo, and I'm out.